So you guys are the largest independent moving company in the country. Is that correct?
That's correct. I grew up middle class. I grew up with very hardworking parents. I didn't grow up with wealth. At the time, I was 16. I looked 12. When are you going to get out of this moving thing and get a real job? And I remember it clear as day. It hit me like a punch in the face because in my mind, when I committed to starting JK and I committed to getting in the moving business, that was my plan. That wasn't a temporary plan. That was my plan for my life work. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. And if you're shrinking, you're dying. It's hard to hit a target you're not aiming at. If a business owner thinks that their people aren't the most important aspect of their business, they're missing. There's $35, $40 million in our profit sharing. We've made a number of millionaires. You have to have a plan. You have to work your plan. You have to be disciplined. You have to stick to your knitting and do not, in my opinion, do not ever lose sight of the importance of your team.
Time is money, so don't waste time when it comes to weighing your load. Download the CatScale Weigh My Truck app today. It's simple. It lets you weigh, pay, and get back to your business fast. Just pull onto the scale, open up the app, weigh your truck, and you're done. Look out for the black and gold CatScale sign and get a weight that you can trust. It's backed by the CatScale guarantee. Weigh what we say or we pay. Download the Weigh My Truck app today, available in the App Store or at weightmytruck.com. Now let's get back to the show. We are back with another amazing episode, and I am honored to be in Sterling, Virginia with Mr. Chuck Kuhn, the CEO of JK Moving. How are you, sir?
Doing great, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me, man. This is going to be very interesting for me. So, we do this show. We talk to entrepreneurs all over the country in different verticals of transportation and logistics, but I've never gotten to speak to somebody in the moving space.
Okay.
So this is going to be fun, maybe a little bit of a learning experience.
Glad to be your first.
All right. So you guys are the largest independent moving company in the country. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And you started 46 years ago?
That's correct.
In 1980.
That's right.
Take me back to 1980. Tell me about starting this company, Chuck.
Sure. It's been a long journey. It's been a great journey. Started off, grew up in Northern Virginia, middle-class family. My mom and dad both worked for the telephone company. They had an opportunity to get transferred over to Iran to upgrade telecommunications at the time under the Shah. My mom, my dad, my brother, and I all moved over to Iran. Big experience for us, first time out of the country. While we were living over there, the revolution took place. All the trouble started in Iran. And so my brother and I got shipped back to live with my aunt and uncle in Rockville, Maryland. My uncle had a very small 3-truck moving and storage business. And so when we would get off school, to keep us out of trouble, he'd bring us over to the warehouse. We'd sweep warehouses, we'd clean out trucks. And on the weekend, we would do moving. So we'd be working on the back of the trucks. And I didn't realize it at the time, but we were learning a trade. And we were learning a trade in an industry that would ultimately be my life work. And so worked with my uncle over there as a kid for about a year. My parents came back from Iran. We moved back to Northern Virginia. As soon as I turned 16, I had some money I saved up from working for my uncle at the time. Bought my first moving truck and started doing local moves. And that was really when JK Moving Services was launched.
Wow. Now, at that time, did you actually name it JK Moving Services? What was the name of the company at that time?
Originally, it was JK Movers.
Okay.
And then we started providing storage services, and it became JK Moving and Storage. And then that evolved into JK Moving Services because we wound up doing a lot more than traditional residential, commercial moving and storage.
Okay. And JK, I'm assuming the K is for Kuhn, your last name?
That's correct.
What's the J?
The J was my father's first initial. And when I first started the business, my mom and dad have been great support, from day one. But my father's initials were JK, Jim Kuhn. And so used his initials.
Okay.
And at the time, I was 16. I looked 12. And it was comforting for my customers to know that there was something behind me, some family support there. And it went great. And it was also a great testament to my father.
Was Dad involved in the business at all?
Early on, he was involved as a mentor. He was still working with the telephone company, both my mom and dad. They were both career C&P, which turned into Bell Atlantic Telephone Company.
Okay.
Ultimately, my dad took a retirement after, I think, 37 years with the phone company and came to work in the office. And then a few years later, my mom retired from the phone company and came to work in the office. So we were a little bit of a reverse family business. My brother at the time was going on to school and went on to college, and post-college came into work in the company for about 20 years as well.
Okay. Now I got to ask you, at 16 years old, what gave you the entrepreneurial itch to start a business?
You know, it was an interesting time for me. I really enjoyed working outside. I enjoyed driving. I enjoyed working with my hands. Enjoyed interacting with people. I was never the best student. Never really enjoyed school, and I could not wait to get to work and start making some money.
Right, right. Did you know any other business owners? Was your uncle was a business owner?
He was.
Right?
He was.
Okay, so I'm sure he was a big mentor.
He was. He was a hard worker, and like I say, he's the one that got me into the moving business. Both my mom and dad had tremendous work ethic, good human skills, so they were really my mentors. They weren't in small business, but they were hardworking, good people, and I learned a lot from them.
Okay. So now this is going back 46 years, so a long time ago, but as much as you can remember, kind of tell me about like your experience back then. What was it like growing a business, obviously starting at 16, and just kind of the next couple of years that proceed after that?
Great. It's it's a great life challenge, and whether it was what I was doing 40 plus years ago or what I'm doing today, it's been about discipline. It's about showing up. It's about what you put in is what you get out. Surrounding yourself with good people, formulating a strategic plan and working your plan. So it's been from day one till today. It's all about talent. It's all about working with good customers, securing good customers. It's finding a good team to surround yourself with, and surrounding yourself with people better than you. Helping your team hit their goals, and they in turn help you hit your goals. And every day is a new day, and every day is an opportunity to do more and to grow the business. And it's been great. There's been tough days, there's been challenging days, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
At what point did you know that you really had something, right? Because you start a small business, you don't know it's going to grow to be 2,000 employees now. At what point did you know that this could be something that is like impactful, that could change other people's lives in as well as yours?
That's a great question. And when I started JK Movers at the time, I was building the business, and I was probably 3 years into building the business, and I ran into a girl that I went to high school with. And she's like, when are you going to get out of this moving thing and get a real job?
Right.
And I remember it clear as day, and it hit me like a punch in the face, because in my mind, when I committed to starting JK and I committed to getting in the moving business, that was my goal. That was my plan. That wasn't a temporary plan. That was my plan for my life work.
Right.
And when she said that, it really set me back a little bit. I'm like, what is she talking about? This is my career. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. It's been a great ride. It's a great industry. The trucking industry provides a lot of opportunity. The moving and storage industry is tough at times, but all business is tough at times.
Yeah. Are there any challenging moments that you can think back to when things got really difficult for you and you had to kind of overcome, just circumstances in business? Can you take us back to, I'm sure you've been in business for 46 years, so I'm sure you had, moments like that.
Oh, absolutely. I grew up middle class. I grew up with very hardworking parents. I didn't grow up with wealth. So when I was starting the business, on a shoestring, literally a shoestring. No outside funding. No bank funding at the time, so it was truly a bootstrapped operation. So early on, every payroll cycle was a challenge, and it's amazing when you're starting a business and you have a weekly payroll and you have monthly truck payments and monthly rent payments. It's amazing how fast a week goes. you get through a payroll cycle and you're relieved to get through that cycle. And next thing you know, there's another payroll cycle. And next thing you know, there's another truck payment. Next thing you know, there's another rent payment. And it's amazing how fast those times go when you have commitments to make.
Right.
So, in the early days, bootstrapping, every week was a challenge. Every month was a challenge. And then your business evolves and your team evolves, and you start working your strategic plan and working your budgets, and it becomes a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And that's kind of how the business evolved for me. And ultimately, you start to build some reserve, you start to build a little bit of cushion. You can stop trying to survive, and you can start investing in your business, investing in your people. And that's when the business for me really started to take off and really started to become more rewarding. And although you're moving down that path and things are evolving and getting better, then you'll get a setback. And that setback might be a vehicle accident. It might be a loss of a good employee for whatever reason. It might be an economic setback. We've been through a number of recessions, and we've been through wars. We've been through different economic crisis and housing crisis, and everything ultimately affects the business in some form or fashion. And you just have to learn to navigate it. You have to learn to build a little cushion and find a way around it or over it or through it. You can't let it knock you down.
I love that. What you just mentioned the phrase strategic plan. What was your strategic plan going into business?
My early strategic plan was I wasn't a good student. I wasn't going to go on to college, so I better figure out how to work and how to make money. And so that was my initial strategic plan. And then the strategic plan was to build a business that was sustainable, not just for me, but sustainable for me, sustainable enough to bring in a good team to surround myself with, and ultimately to be able to give back to the community. And in the early years, you can't. In the early years, it's truly survival. And then you get past survival and you get back into what I just mentioned about being able to build a little nest egg, build a little cushion, then you can start giving back. And when you're able to see your employees grow and the business not only become a career for you, but the business can become a career for your employees, very satisfying, very rewarding, and then you can start retaining top talent. And when you start surrounding yourself with top talent and talent that's better than you are, that can move faster than you do and bring additional skill sets to the business, it really starts to multiply. And then it took a number of years, but ultimately when you're able to start giving back in the community, supporting the community, doing some charitable and some local giving, it really becomes rewarding and fun.
Why was that important to you, giving back?
It's important on a number of reasons. One, it was another level of success for the business when you can start looking beyond yourself. And then when you look at it, your community, you're living on your community. Your customers are all in your community. And your community gets bigger, right? Your community might be your neighborhood, and then it becomes your county, and then it becomes your state, and then it becomes your country, and then it becomes your globe. It evolves. And when you start looking, if you look in your local community, there's so much need. And there's so many people that need a little help, need a little support. Good, hardworking people that are just stuck. Food insecurity is an area that the company and my family has been very supportive of. When you start looking at the facts and stats behind food insecurity, it's amazing how many people in a very wealthy county like Loudoun County, Virginia, are suffering from food insecurity. And giving back to the community, you can never give enough, and the need is endless. But when you can start making contributions to make some impact, hugely rewarding.
Yeah, I want to get back to that, but first, you talked about the business going through different iterations, right? Different verticals of the business. Can you talk about all those verticals again so people know everything that's kind of involved with your business? And then how do you make the decision to start new verticals of the business? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, that's a great point and a great question. So first is the startup phase, and the startup phase is fun, it's challenging, it's tough. And everything matters. Operating attention to matters. Every dollar matters. Every customer, you need to make sure you get them satisfied so you're getting the repeat and referral business from them. When I was starting, I didn't have money to really have a marketing budget. So repeat and referral business was everything. It's still very critical to us 40 plus years later. But in the initial phases, that was the only way we could get new business was repeat and referral. As the business started to evolve, then we could start to do a little more planning. And we could sit down and we could do a 1-year strategic plan, a 3-year strategic plan, a 5-year strategic plan. And today, we still sit down with the same disciplines that we had years back, and we do a 3-year strategic plan that we update annually, and we work the plan. We go into typically an annual budget session where we'll figure out where we're going to spend money, how we're going to spend money, where we're going to invest. The budget typically supports the strategic plan, and then we work the plan. And although there's always opportunities that come up, we try and be as disciplined with our budget and our strategic plan as possible. Not saying that we're inflexible and we're not willing to be nimble and move, but you can't move at every shiny object. You can't move at every good idea. Right. It's hard to hit a target you're not aiming at. And so the strategic plan helps us aim, it helps us give us a guiding plan, and then the budget supports that plan. I'm a firm believer, if you're not growing, you're shrinking, and if you're shrinking, you're dying. So in spite of the economy, in spite of whatever challenge we're facing, we have to grow the business.
Yeah. As a leader, what are you focused on daily?
That's evolved a lot. It evolved from the early years. I was focused on finding anyone that needed to move and grabbing my crew and going out and physically doing the move.
Right.
And in the early days, it was truly that. It was getting out to the truck early, because the truck I bought wasn't a new late model vehicle, so I might have to put oil in it. I might have to jump start it. I need to get the truck started before the crew gets there and gets on payroll. And then going out and doing the move. And then after the move, I would typically go out and do estimates and do sales to find new business. And then after that, you'd go and you do your billing and your payroll and your admin work. That's evolved over the years. I ultimately, probably after the first 10 or 12 years, I got off the trucks as a full-time driver. And at that time, I was functioning more as a president, as a general manager, as an ops manager, and a dispatcher, depending on the time of day. Right. And that evolved over time, where I would delegate, find quality talent, bring them in, train them up, and start delegating those responsibilities, and ultimately got myself functioning as JK's true president. I grew the business for a number of years, functioning as the president with a great team and great people surrounding me. Ultimately brought in a president that could help bring the business to new levels and bring in technology and bring in areas that were higher thinking, additional thinking, and then I transitioned out of the president role into a CEO role that I'm in today. So today, I'm much more focused on strategy, more focused on talent, more focused on large client interactions, and finance, and focused as more of the CEO with a tremendous team surrounding me and supporting the business growth.
You mentioned a great 4-letter word, team. How do you recruit and, most importantly, retain top talent?
It's all the talent. It's all finding and nurturing and growing great customers, finding and nurturing and growing great talent. It is absolutely all about the people, all about the team.
How do you incentivize your talent, though, to stick around?
Finding, retaining top talent, I would say, has been the toughest part of the business from when it started and today. Yeah. And it's hard to find good talent. It's hard to retain good talent. And if you're not investing in them, you're not going to keep them. If your talent isn't seeing an opportunity to grow within the organization, they're going to grow in someone else's organization. So that is absolutely every day.
We built TNH IQ just for you. TNH IQ Smart Plan is your profit planner that fits right in your pocket. You build the real cost profile one time. Truck payment, fuel, insurance, tires, everything. And now, every load gets judged in only 3 seconds. Evaluate that. Go to TNH IQ and sign up now for free at tnhiq.com/login. Let's go.
It takes care, it takes feeding, it takes nurturing. to find that team, to grow that team, to retain that team, and not just the moving and storage or the trucking business, any business. And if a business owner thinks that their people aren't the most important aspect of their business, they're missing it.
For sure. And I believe that I read somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys do profit sharing with your employees?
We do.
Okay, when did you start that and what was the impetus of that?
So that goes back to what I mentioned earlier about growing the business. At first it's survival. Second, okay, we're past survival, and as the founder and the president, I can start establish enough finance to live a normal lifestyle. And then the next was investing in the team, the people, and that means staying competitive with wages, staying competitive with benefits. Ultimately, we grew the business up where it had sustainable profits, and we created a profit-sharing plan. And the profit-sharing plan was set where we would set strategic goals, we would set our budget for the year, and when we met budget, we would give a certain amount of our profits back to the employees in a profit-sharing plan. And then we would set goals where if we would beat budget, we would do a revenue split, a profit split for anything above the budget. And it really became fun. Looking back today, don't hold me exactly to the numbers, but I'll be close.
Sure.
There's $35–40 million in our profit sharing. And that's money that the company has shared with profits back to the employees. It's shared with the employees in a split based on a percentage of their income. So we hit our goals, we distribute the profits into the profit sharing plan. That money grows tax deferred for the employees until their ultimate retirement. And it's a great program. We've made a number of millionaires, people in the moving and storage business, drivers, helpers, salespeople, admins, that have been with the company, grown with the company, and today they truly have $1 million plus in their profit sharing plan towards retirement. In addition to the profit sharing plan, we put together other retirement vehicles too, some of which the employee can contribute to, and we do a match. Some that we put in, and there's no match required by the employees. So it's been a great ride, and in my mind, if you're not training your people, developing your people, growing your people, looking out for their retirement, you're not going to retain them today.
For sure. Tell me a little bit about Cap Reload. That's another one of your business units. Can you talk about that?
Great, thanks. And 401k, that's where I was drawing a blank on that. So in addition to our profit sharing, we have a 401k plan that we put in an automatic 3% contribution every year. So the employee is not required to put in any money into their 401k plan here. We put in 3% of their gross wages, and then if they elect to add to that, they elect to add to that.
That's nice. That's nice.
So Cap Reload's been a great business, and what happened when I first started the business and was growing the business, the moving and storage company would support corporate customers, moving employees directly. So for example, if you owned Corporation XYZ and you were moving people from the East Coast to the West Coast or vice versa, you would have a contract with the moving and storage company, and you'd say, I'm moving John Doe to California, please come in, pack them, and move them to California. And we would do a lot of corporate relocation work, not just domestically, but globally. There was tax changes, and the tax changes allowed relocation companies and corporations to move employees with pre-tax dollars. And so it put a little bit of a wedge between us and our corporate customer. And so the corporate customer would bring in a relocation company, the corporate customer would have the contract with the relocation company, and we lost our contracts directly with a number of our corporate customers, and we had to contract with these relocation companies. And at the time, that didn't feel real good. We were losing our connection with our customer. We understood why it was happening. The customer could use pre-tax dollars to do relocation. And then the relocation companies were providing benefits to the corporations that we weren't. They were helping with home sale, home purchase, mortgage assistance, temp rentals for transferring employees. And so we got pushed down the food chain a little bit, and it didn't feel great, but we were doing it. And after doing that for a few years, we decided that we were going to form our own relocation company and go get connected with our customer again. So we formed Cap Relo. At the time, it was Capital Relocation that ultimately evolved into Cap Relo. And today, it's a full outsourced relocation company. So today, We're back connected, contractually to our corporate customers. We do it both for corporate America. We also do it for the GSA and other Fortune 500 companies. And now we're back providing all those services. So some of our largest corporations are in the Fortune 10, and if they're relocating people globally or domestically, they'll call Caprillo. Caprillo has a fantastic supply chain, of which JK Moving is a member of that supply chain. So we're back doing the moving, but we're also providing mortgage services, home purchase, home sale, temp living, and a host of other services to the transferring employee.
Having these two great businesses, and I know you have other businesses as well, how do you pick, they're both like babies, right? They're both like children. How do you choose which one you're going to focus on, or which one do you love more? Just tell me, how do you look at your business?
Yeah, and you hit it on the head. You look at the business units almost like family, almost like children, and you've got to give them all time and attention. They all take nurturing and care, and it goes back to building the team. We have a great executive team and management team that are running Caprillo. We have a tremendous team, separate team that's running JK Moving Services, and we have some outside companies too. And it goes back to the talent comment. It's finding and retaining top talent, surrounding yourself with people better than you that can help grow these businesses.
I love that. Aside from finding talent, what has 50 years or nearly 50 years of business taught you? If you could sum it up into a few sentences.
Yeah. You have to have a plan. You have to work your plan. You have to be disciplined. You have to stick to your knitting, and do not, in my opinion, do not ever lose sight of the importance of your team.
What else are you passionate about?
Passionate about family, passionate about the businesses, passionate about our team, passionate about giving back in the community, passionate about staying disciplined. I think without discipline, you struggle in all aspects of your life, and passionate about the community.
For sure. You guys have a farm as well, right? Can you talk about the farm?
We do. So we've done a lot with respect to protecting open space in Virginia, protecting open space in Colorado. We do that through Conservation Easement Program. The Conservation Easement Program is a tremendous way to protect open space. It also provides some tremendous tax benefit in doing so. So years back, we started acquiring farmland, placing it into conservation easement to protect the open space, protect the historic aspects of a number of properties, especially in Virginia, where there's so much great history. In doing that, my daughter was in school, and one of my daughters was in school in Tennessee, and she was very involved in a community farm and giving back as she was going through college. At the same time, my wife and I and family were protecting farmland in Virginia through the Conservation Easement Program. When my daughter graduated college and came up back home, she started talking about the significance of the community farm and giving back, and how passionate she was about the community farm in Tennessee. And it came together kind of at a perfect time. JK was doing a lot of community giving, but feeling we weren't doing enough. My family was doing a lot with conservation easements and protecting open space, and now my daughter Sam came home and she's talking about the farm and wanting to do more. And so she took one of the farms that we had placed into conservation easement, and working together with the JK executive team and her passion and learnings, she formed the JK Community Farm. Fast forward to today, the JK Community Farm is the largest not-for-profit community farm, giving 100% of the proceeds, which is beef proteins, which is organic vegetables, back for charity and food and people in need in the community. Wow. And it's really rewarding. She's very passionate about it. She's done a great job building it. The JK employees, the JK team and organization have done a great job participating and supporting the growth and the vision that Sam had for the farm. And it's come together to be, I think, really great for my family, really great for the JK companies, great for my daughter and her passion in giving back, and is supporting a tremendous number of food banks in the community. Loudon Hunger Relief is a great partner in the JK Community Farm. They're kind of our distribution hub to make sure that everything being grown at the farm, whether it be beef or vegetables, is getting distributed to people in need all throughout the community, throughout the county, throughout the state in some cases, and even down into Washington, D.C. There's no shortage of people in need. I think we're doing a lot. We need to keep doing more, and it's a critical need.
I love that. So your daughter runs a farm. You have 8 other children, though, correct?
That's right. I have nine children
Nine
total
children
and
total.
15 grandchildren today.
Oh, wow. So your other children, are they entrepreneurial as well, or do they help in the business?
I would say all of them have an entrepreneurial instinct and thread.
Their dad.
Yeah, they've all got a great work ethic, and they're all doing different things. I have one son that started and owns and operates a company called Kuhn Aviation. Kuhn Aviation is a fixed base operation at Leesburg Airport. So they provide all aspects of aviation management, flight school, aircraft fueling, charter services, and they're managing corporate aircraft and does a tremendous job in Leesburg, Virginia, running the FBO there, and he's looking to grow and expand that company. One of my sons ran a thoroughbred training center, and has now come into JK Land Holdings, one of our property development businesses. So all 9 of them are productive members of society doing something, whether it's home raising a family or whether it's out running a business.
Yeah.
Very proud of all of them.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
What's the biggest misperception?
Misconception. That people
Misconception.
think that what people may think about you that you would love to clear up and say, if you really knew me, you would feel this way.
People that know what I've done and what we've created as a team in the moving and storage business, I think I've been around that business long enough that people know the good, the bad, the indifferent about me. I can be a little particular at times. I like things done a certain way. I certainly enjoy the aspect of building the business and making money. Most concerned about building a business that is productive for society and that we can be proud of. The money will come. If you stay steady, you stay disciplined, you work hard, the money comes.
Yeah.
But initially, one of the reasons that I got into the moving and storage business was a series of disastrous moves when we moved over to Iran. And that's where my first introduction to the moving business was. Being a young kid and watching my parents upset over a disastrous relocation. I think today, looking back, I think we have truly made an impact on the moving and storage industry. I think we've trained great crew members, a lot of which are still here. Some have moved on to other companies, and I like to think the trainings and the learnings have helped improve the industry. I think we've raised the bar for our competition in the industry and the market, and I truly can look in the mirror and say, we've given back to the moving industry, we've helped improve this industry, and we can be proud of what we've built.
Are you optimistic about the future of the moving industry, or just the industry in general with technology, AI, different things coming down the pike? What's your outlook?
I think technology is awesome. I'm extremely impressed with AI. I'm a student of AI. I'm a student of technology. By no means am I where I want to be with technology, but I greatly appreciate it, and I'm doing my best to learn. AI and technology have helped us tremendously in growing this business and supporting our customers. The good news is AI is never going to replace the moving and storage business. It might streamline some roles. It might help keep us lean and mean. It might help us deliver better information to our internal customers or external customers, but it's not going to replace the need for movers.
Yeah, for sure. So what's next for you? You talked about you spend your day-to-day working on strategy. So what are you thinking about now, if I can get into your head for a moment?
We're doing some great stuff. So you talked a little bit about technology. So right now we're literally looking at every process in every company that we operate. How can we improve it with technology? How can we improve workflows? How can we improve processes? How can we better serve our employees? How can we better serve our customers with the use of technology? So that's a huge part of our strategic plan in every company that we own and operate. If we talk about JK Moving Services for a moment, big area of growth for JK is what we call JK Technical Services. The data center boom across the globe is huge. Being headquartered in Loudoun County, Virginia, the data center capital of the world, there's a tremendous amount of need to service the data center community. So we are not taking any focus off of our core competencies that have got us here today. But as an additional vertical, we're doubling down in our investment in data center support. So that might mean supporting construction services, doing rigging and craning of equipment onto data center sites. It might be what we call smart hands, and that's bringing in server racks and servers and chillers into the data centers and servicing all aspects of data center services, not just in Virginia, but nationally. Ultimately, we'll be serving globally. So that's a huge growth vertical for JK Moving.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you fear? Is there anything that keeps you up at night? That good old question.
There's always things that keep me up at night. Retaining top talent, finding talent to grow into the verticals, finding customers, and retaining top customers to make sure the company hits all their growth goals. So there's always concerns. There's things, within our strategic plan, we do a SWOT analysis, and we look at our strengths, we look at our weaknesses, we look at our opportunities and our threats. So looking at our SWOT analysis, there's always something to be concerned about and focused on. We just have to build strategy around it. Yeah. We have to anticipate where things are going to be and make sure that we hit the mark.
Are you having fun?
I have fun every day. Some days are painful, some days are frustrating, some days are challenging, but there's never a day that I don't wake up in the morning, typically ahead of my alarm, ready to go charge the hill.
I love it. Well, I really appreciate this. And before we go, traditionally, we always give our audience a final thought. And that's basically wherever you want to come from, whether it's entrepreneurial advice, spiritual, just leaving them with a word of encouragement, or impart some wisdom on them. And then just let people know where they can connect with you and learn more about your companies. So let's start with where they can connect with you. Where can people find you?
Great. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us all over the internet. JK Moving Services is our primary company. Caprelo, you can find there as well. JK Land Holdings is our land development business. Kuhn Aviation is my son Scott's business I talked to earlier. Yep. And the JK Community Farm. You can find us all on the internet. Love to see you come out. Love to see you visit. Love to see you participate in the community farm. There's never enough support out there.
I love it. And final thought.
Final thought. It's for me, and I'm not great at it. I'm constantly working at it. It's all about balance. Work-life balance between building the business, balance between supporting your customers, supporting your employees, supporting your family. It's all about a balancing act and rebalancing, and I truly think you get out of everything what you put into it.
Mr. Kuhn, thank you so much. This has been great.
Enjoyed it.
I appreciate it. Guys, signing off from JK Moving here in Sterling, Virginia. We are
Y'all, listen, I'm happy to announce that we finally launched our YouTube memberships. Listen, if you want to support Truck and Hustle for all the hard work that we've been doing over the past 5 years, this is where you need to be. As a part of our memberships, number one, you'll get exclusive access to all of our archive content. Number two, we'll be doing at least one live webinar with one of the guests or somebody else from our network that you love to continue to add value to you and your business. Third, we'll be having exclusive behind the scenes content that we shoot and doesn't, make the final cut. So make sure you go check it out. Get that subscription right now and join us, man. TNH forever. Let's go. What's up, y'all? It's Ramel from Truck and Hustle, and I am super excited to announce that we are finally launching our Truck and Hustle Entrepreneurs community. This is a place where entrepreneurs just like you can connect, collaborate, partner, and win together. Everybody's been asking me for years, man. They say, Ramel, you have such a crazy network. All these people who have been on the platform. You need to create something where everybody can come together and work together. And that's what we've done here with the Truck and Hustle Entrepreneurs community, man. You'll see people from Truck and Hustle along with other business people that you see out there in the world moving and shaking. You guys can collaborate, network together, and win together. Go to the description right now and sign up for our first inaugural event. It's called Contracts and Cash Flow. This event is going to set the tone for your business in 2025. I know we're almost in the second quarter, so we got to hurry up, man. We got to get things moving. So let's make it happen. Click, join the community, and let's go. See you guys in a couple weeks. All right, guys, if you love Truck and Hustle and you love the interviews and the information that we're providing week to week, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right, Hustle fam.